Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 4. I hope you're having a good summer, and it's hard to believe we're halfway through the class. Week 4 always marks that point where we're halfway through and on the downside, which also means the end of the summer, which makes me sad. But I hope you've enjoyed it and are having a good summer. So let's dive into week 4. I'll click on the introduction. So, in week 4, we're going to be looking at the following objectives. Continuing with our self awareness and reflection and self management. You're going to be taking your goals from the previous weeks and put them into an AI system. We use Copilot here at the university. It's free for students. So we ask that you use that, and then you'll be printing out a report. Um, other goals we have are characteristics of high performing teams. You're going to be focusing on teams, and that brings out conflict management. When you have a team, how do you do effective meetings, and how do you support and stimulate the creativity of your team? So the assignment this week is brand new, and it's going to look at those four things about teams. So let's talk a little bit about management and teams. So maybe in other courses you have studied or read Drucker. I like to give at this point pointers on other things to read for our course. Being that the simulation is the focus, we don't have a lot of readings and we didn't want you to have to buy other books. So I'm going to recommend, if you want to follow up, Drucker is an excellent resource for management and the workplace, building teams, working together with teams, great resources. Another one I like is Jim Collins. His Good to Great book, really, it's a short book, easy to read. I recommend it, and it helps with a theory or a philosophy he has of getting people on the bus or getting people around the table. How do you pick the right people to be around your table? And it's not just about picking the wrong people, it's also about gently removing the wrong people. Because when you have a team and you think about projects, sometimes everybody's excited and everybody wants to be involved, but they shouldn't be. So you have to gently pare down your team to the actual people you need and that can make a positive impact. On the flip side, if it's a negative, it's a stressful, it's something that's wrong, it's a crisis. Maybe nobody wants on the team. So how do you draw in the resources you need to be successful? So think about that as you go through the simulation. And once again, his name is Jim Collins, another book I really recommend. These are also things, believe it or not, that are taught through undergrad, through graduate. And it was funny when I was in the workplace, we read a lot of this material. I got rid of the books when I left AOL thinking, I'll never need them again. I'm teaching high school. Well, life changes, and I ended up in college level and had to go back and buy all those books again. So it's not just here at the university, other places use the information too. So we're looking at teams. As a manager, that is one of the key jobs you have, probably the most important job you have. We talked about compassion last week. We've talked about your personal goals, but what are your team goals? And it's important to look at what the team goals are and then what resources you need to complete those goals. And then what human resources fit the needs to meet those goals. So a lot of times, and I always kind of laughed, HR will give you a stack of resumes for hiring a team. And the resumes are great. And HR may be like, this is the perfect person based on that resume. But then you get them there and you realize they don't react the way the rest of the team does. Their personality just doesn't kind of fit. So those, along with skills, you have to look at all the attributes of a person to build your team. And all of that is what will make you successful. It's easy to say this person has this knowledge, but if maybe they just don't have the fire the rest of the team has, there will be animosity, and you want to try to avoid that. Or the opposite, if your team is laid back and this person is just gung ho, full of energy, it might help the team and bring them up, but it also may clash with the team. So think about that when you're building your team and you're selecting who to put around your table. It's not just knowledge, but it's also personality. So let's dive into our work. Go back to modules in week 4, your SMART goal assignment. You're going to take the 3 long-term goals you have, and you're going to run them through Copilot. We give you an example of a prompt to use. You can use this exactly. You can tweak it a little bit. It's up to you. I am going to say I noticed a couple of you did use AI, even though I asked you not to write your SMART goals. And I know that based on the format of your responses, you'll see that there's a very specific format they use to respond. So if you did use AI, I'm very curious to see what's going to change. And then after you get your long-term goals rewritten, you're going to ask for 3 short-term goals to support each term long goal, just like you did before. And then you're going to write a quick response analysis of what your thoughts were. Did AI improve your goals? Did they totally take them off the rails? Did this help you? So let me know your thoughts. And then the next assignment we're going to work on is, sorry, I'm scrolling, your networking event. In your networking event, this is just a reminder that it's due week 7. You should be attending your events by now, and I look forward to seeing your final project. The next 3 items all lead up to the simulation. You will be a project overview and a simulation overview. Please read these. I know a lot of people, no, I don't need to read that. I can figure it out. No, please read it. This is the first time we've ever done the simulation in the course. I handpicked it. I thought it was very interesting because it is a cyber attack. If you've been following the news, you know that OpenAI actually had its software cyber attack somebody else. And when something like this happens, now you have 2 companies that are involved in crisis mode. It affects everybody from the CEO, the engineers, to the people that support the engineers. When you have a crisis like that, nobody is immune from the crisis mode. Having been at AOL, a software company, I can tell you when we were in crisis, everybody was in crisis. It didn't matter if it was your product or not. Everybody pitched in. A lot of times we had to back off on work so we didn't overload systems so the crisis could take the prime spot. So no matter what your goal is, what your career objectives, this will help you think about what goes on when you're in a crisis. So this last one is actually the link to the simulation. And you'll open this and click, sorry, it's kind of slow today. This is what it will look like. You'll come to a page like this. You'll see the price is $11.50, under $12, cheaper than any textbook. I'd say 99% of the textbooks we might assign you. So that's why we decided no textbooks. We would just have you do this to keep the cost nice and low. Unfortunately, I can't really go into the cyber attack because I'm an instructor. I don't have a student account to show you, but it should be pretty straightforward. It's Harvard. They've done this before. If you have any questions, any issues, please let me know right away. As I said, this is our first time. I want it to be successful. So let me know any concerns. I'm here to help. And then this rolls over into week 5. So I've actually opened up the 2 items for week 5. One is a written reflection on what you've just done in the simulation. And the other is a group assignment. You'll have a group chat where you'll talk about the simulation. So that's it for week 4. Please let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have a great week.